G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. I hope you're ready for another cocktail. This is going up for June 14th, which is a Bourbon Day in the US. Of course, it's widely regarded as the US's national spirit, their own whiskey, and I couldn't let this pass. I mean, a lot of these national days are quite arbitrary, and I have fun using them for inspiration. But Bourbon Day, I can't let that pass. And the drink I'm going to make, I've never made before. In fact, never heard of before. It was a suggestion on the Difford's Guide website, and I love the sound of it. It's a little bit complicated. I've got to do it in 2 parts, but it's a little bit of fun, and it's also using 2 ingredients that sometimes people get because they're recommended, then they don't know what to do with them. It's got Fernet Branca and Green Chartreuse in it. So if you've got those and thought, can I do something else with them? You can do this with them. This drink is called the Haberdasher. First up, the bourbon, and let's go for one with a bit of punch. I've got this 100 proof Knob Creek whiskey from Kentucky, and the stopper's always a little bit hard to get out of this, but there we go. So the first thing we're adding is 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of bourbon. We're also going to add some dark crème de cacao, 1 ounce, 30 mils. Should play very well with the bourbon flavors, those rich chocolate notes. So just 1 ounce, 30 mils of dark crème de cacao. And now the Fernet, one of the more contentious of the Amari, really divides people. Some people love it, some people hate it. But there's actually just 1/4 ounce going in, 7.5 mils. It's very strong flavor, very strong menthol notes in there. But I think in small doses, it adds quite a lot to drinks. So we're going to add 1/4 ounce or around 7.5 mils of Fernet. This is the first part of the drink. These 3 ingredients we're going to stir. I've added ice to my stirring glass, and we'll stir this to chill it down. Give it about 10-15 seconds. We strain that into a chilled glass. I'm using a coupe. You can use glassware of your choice. Unsurprisingly from those ingredients, a very rich chocolate coloured drink, but this is just the first part. Now on to the second part. For the second half of the drink, we're starting with chartreuse, possibly another contentious ingredient. It's quite strong, very herbal, 55% alcohol. We're going to get 1/2 ounce or 15 mils of green chartreuse, and I'm going to put that into a shaker. And to that, I'm just putting everything down in the wrong place. We're going to put some cream, 1 ounce or 30 mils of cream. The recipe says just like full cream, 1/2 and 1/2, I think Americans call it. But so putting that in the shaker as well. Now, the first thing we're going to do is shake this with ice. I'm just going to use the ice from my mixer. Throwing that in there, and going to give that a solid shake. The shake with ice is to chill it. I'll put that back in the mixing glass and get my Hawthorne strainer, and we're going to strain out the ice. And we're going to shake it again without ice, because this is going to be, if I do it right, a creamy float on top of the drink. So give it a good solid shake for about 15 seconds. Want to get this to a nice foamy consistency. Sounds like there's a tiny shard of ice in there, but that's not bad. That's like whip shaking it. So we want to get this to a nice consistency, and I'm going to try and float that on the top of the rest of the drink. So I'm just going to see if it floats. I think it does. There we go. Or not. No, I fucked that. Okay, fine. So it's just a creamy drink. I was meant to float it. I don't know if I'll try and make that again. I'm just going to taste it. What the hell? That is what I call some rich and varied flavors in there. Just the whiskey, the herbal elements, the Amaro, the cream, the chocolate. It's the scary ingredients like the chartreuse and the Fernet have been tamed by everything else. It's got a bit of spine, but you know, with the cream, it kind of qualifies as a dessert cocktail. It's an interesting dessert cocktail. It's a dessert cocktail with character. It's not as sweet as many of them, but all in all, if you want to try something really different for Bourbon Day, you could absolutely do worse than a haberdasher. You know what, I made a second attempt to make this and I stuffed up the cream float as well. So if you're better at doing that than me, good luck to you. I mean, it tastes good, but I'm not getting the separation of the bourbon side and the cream side. You know what, the idea is you put just a mint leaf, maybe a dusting of cocoa as a garnish. It is a really tasty drink. This is me admitting my fallibility. In case anyone was laboring under the misapprehension that I'm perfect, no, this is a classic example of things not going my way, but the drink still tastes nice. I'm going to finish it off, drown my sorrows somewhat. So I hope you all look after yourselves, look after the people around you, and until I see you again, cheers.